Hello. Oh, good evening. Well, I did a great video earlier and then deleted it by accident. The things we do. So what I talked about before and what I'll talk about again is on Saturday night I went to the Lyrebird Awards, and given that today is Oscars Day, I'm going to talk about the Lyrebird Awards. The Lyrebird Awards are the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, the Yarra Ranges and Yarra Valleys Community Theatre Awards. And Saturday night, about 500 odd people gathered at the Carolika Centre in Ringwood to celebrate the wonderful contribution to our community that these people do in performing, directing, choreographing, making sets, making costumes, working front of house, performing, being musos, taking photos, making programs, you name it, it's all done by volunteers. Now, one of the awards on Saturday night was for the Hall of Fame. That's for the person who is nominated by a company and then voted on by all the companies as to someone who deserves to be recognised. This year was a lady called Anne Dewar, who had celebrated 45 years working tirelessly as a performer, director, costumer, actor, set designer, set maker, props maker, and all-round absolute helper to our company, Phoenix, and to Nova, another company she's a life member of as well, and any other company who needed her help. And it was truly amazing to look at the list of all the Hall of Fames over since 1994 when the Lyrebird started. Now, Mike Craigie, he got one in 2008, all his work. Pretty awesome, pretty amazing. And it got me thinking, how do you contribute to your community? I know how I contribute. I've been contributing since primary school. In primary school, instead of doing activities, I was the teacher of an activity. I was teaching other students how to do origami. Yet I could have been doing all sorts of exciting and wonderful things, but I was asked and I took it on. At high school, I was in the Student Representative Council. I even led a strike because they'd taken the doors off the girls' toilets and that wasn't on. So we got them put back on. And then I've been on kindergarten committees, health centre committees, CFAs, Country Fire Authority, auxiliaries. Women couldn't be fighters back then. That's how old I am. Friendly society organisations, you name it. I've been involved in community things. Now, if I stop to think of the hours that have been put in by members of just this household, that's myself, Craig, and all our kids, it would be unbelievable. But when you stop to think of the hours that have been put in, all for nothing, or just giving back, all for love, to create the amateur theatre community here in Melbourne, it's unbelievable. So what do you do to contribute? Because some believe that you contribute once you've reached that pinnacle in your life and now it's time to give back to the community. I think it's time always to give to your community. I'm currently a board member of a bank as well. I give my time to that. So giving is really important because when we give, we actually end up getting more. Giving is such an important thing. And the time and if I looked at the hours that were put into just our last two productions last year, all the performers, the set makers, the set designers, the set builders, the lighting designers, the sound people, the costumers, the performers, the director, the choreographer, the musicians. We'd be looking at thousands of hours people gave of their time to give something back to the community. Now that's one theatre company. Multiply that by, just in our area, maybe 60. How many hours are we thinking? So how many hours do you give back to your community? Because giving back to the community and giving actually helps you to feel fulfilled. And for being fulfilled in what you do, in life, is what we're here to do. We actually are on earth to feel fulfilled with our lives. We're not here to find this place of happiness. We're here to find fulfillment. So I'd love you to put in the comments what you do to give back. And if you don't do anything to give back, if you can't think of any way you give back, how are you going to start giving back? Now, money is great, I know that, but how can you give of your time? There are so many volunteer organisations looking for helpers. Wherever you are across Australia, across the world, there is always some group looking for someone to give of their time. So take it from me, when you give of your time, you get back some amazing things. And on Saturday night, I got to watch hundreds of people who give of their time. And boy, they had a fun night. And that's part of the joy they get for giving of their time. Please put your comments in there. I'd love to know what you do to give back. Thanks. Sorry about the stuff up. I'm sure this one isn't as good as my first one. Okay, bye.